Well, good morning guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be reworking this flower bed. I recently toured you guys through it in a video that I'll link up above if you have not seen it. This is the front flower bed leading over to the west side of the house. Pardon my the noise from my tripod there. But as you can see, I've got bricks laid out in the front. I'd like to change the shape of this bed and make it more appealing. So I'm going to kind of just walk you through my plans for this area. So I'll set the camera up and I'll just work on getting this bed reworked, getting the shape reworked. Again, show you through the plans for the area, and then hopefully you guys will see my vision. So it's going to kind of be hard to tell, but if you look, the previous bed, there's an outline for it now, and then it kind of curves back, and you can kind of see where the border of the bed is right there. So it kind of goes back and then it curves here and then pans out back here. So what I thought about doing, you can kind of see the indentation in the lawn there. So what I thought about doing was meeting this bed with the corner of that bed there and just tracking it back over to this side. So you can kind of see there, and you can see that line in the grass. So I was just gonna take a straight line and go and meet this corner of the flower bed. Sorry for the shoddy camera work. So you can see that there. However, I wasn't feeling it. So I had those bricks laid out there for a couple of days, and I would just stare at it, see how I liked it. And I didn't really think it, would serve my purpose as well. So you see that I moved it out probably about another foot and made a nicer curve. So what'll happen, and I wasn't going to go out and buy a can of that sprayable paint that you can spray on the grass, so I just kind of used my garden hose. So that's where the flower bed will start, where the hose is, and I have a gentle curve right back to meet the flower bed there at that corner where that tuft of grass is. So my thoughts are to just have a small walkway here and incorporate this flower bed over to there. You can see my horde of plants. We all have them. I was going to kind of curve the bed around, meet it here, and then just have that small, probably like a 2-foot wide walkway there. That's my son coming outside. And have about a 2-foot walkway going over to the back. And let me show you what's going to happen over there. So I'm going to have a fence built along this side, and it's going to come out to about there where you see my garden hose. And then I'm going to have an arbor and a little gate. And I kind of want this west side to feel like a little secret garden almost. So then this is going to turn into a shade bed over here once I get the height of the fence. And I think it's going to be about an 8-foot high fence, privacy screen, all the way back down to the end of my property there. So I want this to feel like a little enclosed garden. So the walkway is going to lead right up to the entrance there. So I kind of want to have this area coincide with my plans. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to set the camera up and I'm going to just start removing grass. I'm going to be working in compost, also some soil conditioners, weed killer, all that good stuff into this area, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Alright guys, so it's another day. So yesterday things didn't really go, how I planned. Everything wasn't copacetic, so I just had to get my head down, take care of this thing, and this is the result. So I left the bricks up over here so that you could see where the flower bed previously ended. So what I did was just meet the new edge of the bed right to where it curved over into the west side flower bed. So you can see here that I've gained quite a bit of room to get this flower bed looking a little bit more breathable. I want to space plants out more appropriately, and I want to have this side of the house be my foundation, what anchors the whole garden and makes it look cohesive. So I really want to take my time and be methodical and really think about foundation pieces, foundation plantings, get them in here, space everything out properly so it looks a little more not so busy, if you will. So yesterday I talked to you guys about the pathway that I wanted to put in, and I edged the right side of the flower bed with pavers so that I can give you a better feel of what I'm talking about. So I flared it out at the ends here, and this curve I tried to meet or to mirror with the curve on this side of the bed. So you get a sense. It's about a 3.5 foot, maybe 4 foot width. I didn't want it to be this wide, but now that I kind of mapped it out, I think this is the right way to go, because when the kids are blasting through here, or when I need to bring the lawnmower through here, or my wheelbarrow through here, or whatever I'm going to bring through here, I want to have enough space on both sides so that I'm not, congested. So that's the plan. I'm going to finish laying out all of the amendments and the compost and whatever I'm going to do to work into this bed. So I'm going to show you what all I'm using, why I'm using it, and then we're going to till it in. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I hope I'm not too cut off, but literally this project has taken 3 days. This is the third day. And I'm just now getting around to being able to show you guys the amendments and things that I'm going to be adding into the soil. First thing that I've got, and I want to do this very quickly because it's early in the morning and the sun is coming out and it's starting to get really hot. So first thing I've got is a bag of premium and natural organic compost. This is a blend. This has shrimp and seaweed in it. I've used it before in the containers that I've got by the driveway to make a soil mix. Didn't really like how it is performing. Well, I don't like how it's performing in the containers. And I had this extra bag and I said, you know what, I'll just spread it out and till it in. You guys know that I typically use leaf grow. But I have this, so I said I'm going to get rid of it because even though it has shrimp and seaweed in it, to me that means absolutely nothing because I just don't like it. It's kind of compacted, it's wet, so we're going to use it and maybe it'll perform better in the ground than in containers, but we'll see. So compost is always a good thing. You want to add it into your soils. It adds nice organic matter back into your soil and improves your soil quality. So this is a cubic foot bag and I'm going to add that in. Next up, I've got Frey Brothers Organic Soil Conditioner. And really and truly, and I'll give you a close-up on all this stuff, but this stuff is kind of just like, it just looks like a mulch. So it aerates the soil by adding pore spaces into your soil through which oxygen and nutrients and other things can filter through your soil. So if you don't have gypsum and this is available, it's not as good as gypsum, but it will really help make your soil a lot loftier. I use this in the west side of the flower bed, and trust me, that soil over there was compacted. This soil, which is just right beside it, isn't as bad as over there, but I'm going to use it anyway. Kind of lastly is organic chicken manure. Now, I know that a lot of people have issues with chicken manure, and rightfully so, because if it's not broken down properly and properly composted, it can do more harm than good. But this is a great source of NP and K, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphates. And also, some people do say that it adds more NPK and organic material into your soil, far more than cow manure, steer manure, and even horse manure. I've never used horse or steer manure. I've used cow manure. But I've been having really good luck with this. So I'm going to put a layer of this down also. Last thing I have is vermiculite. And the only reason why I'm using this is because there's a little bit left and I'm tired of having it in the garage. So I'm just going to work it in. It helps, it prevents soil compaction and increases aeration. So I'm going to use that. Also, I don't have it here, but you'll see me sprinkle it around. I have got a big 5-gallon bucket of some fertilizers that I've blended over the years. And I use typically in the fall when I add a top dress, or I winterize, as I like to say, my garden beds. And what I do is I normally add down some of that fertilizer, and then I put a layer of compost on top of the soil, and I cover the crowns of the plants and everything. Sometimes I put a layer of, you'll see it when I do it later on this fall, but I sometimes put a layer of leaves down, then I add that fertilizer down with some blood meal and some bone meal, and then I add the compost on top of it. But again, you'll see that in the fall. But let me get all these laid out. I'll sprinkle them in, and then let's till them in, and then that'll be it for this video. Let's get to work. So before I get started, this is what the leaf grow looks like. You can see it just literally looks like mulch. So it's just broken up pine bark. Let's get to work. Alright, so there it is, guys. I added all the amendments. I tilled it in. I'm out of breath. I raked, I graded to the best of my ability. And while it doesn't look dark and rich and black and fluffy like potting soil would, it is fluffy, it is rich with organics and nutrients. And I will be tackling this area over time. So honestly, guys, the garden needs a lot of work. At this point in time, I am getting tired of some of my flowers, especially the annuals. So I'm going to be going in, removing some stuff that I don't want anymore. These containers that are over here off to my left, I'm going to be taking some of them out so I can get some of my perennial plantings in. That's just the way I garden. Some of these annuals especially have been in here since April, early April, because the spring this year was particularly warm. So I was out planting quite early. So a lot of the annuals I'm just getting tired of. And I want to switch them over to more permanent planting. So I'll be doing that in the next few weeks. But again, when you're expanding a flower bed or starting a new flower bed, you want to make sure that you plan to have enough space. They should be at least 4 to 6 feet deep. You want to make sure that you edge it properly, add in your organics, till them in, grade it out, and then I'll be showing you how I put pavers at the edge of my garden. Sorry for the squinting, the sun is out and I'm tired. So, everything is in the description box below that I used. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Again, in all things, remember to give thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.